Welcome to Cinemassacre's Monster Madness as we run through the history of the horror films, terror films, supernatural thrillers, monster movies, whatever the hell you want to call them. We've been through the silent cinema of the 1920s, the golden age of the 30s, the monster mash of the 40s, the sci-fi boom of the 50s, and the resurrection of the classics, now in bloody color. The 1960s were the age of elaborate gothic thrillers. One man who actually made the transition is Roger Corman. He started off making low-budget B-movies in the 50s and early 60s, more than you can possibly count. Then he got his big break and started making bigger-scale horror films based on the tales of Edgar Allan Poe. To this day, Roger Corman has made 100 billion movies. Well, maybe not that much, but a lot. Today, we're not going to talk about any one specific film, but a general impression of his Poe series that ran through the 60s. Bringing the writings of Poe to the big screen has never been done perfectly because it's hard to do justice to his work, and this wasn't the first time it's been attempted. In the 1930s, Universal Studios made The Black Cat and The Raven, both starring Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff. This was the first time the two actors were paired together.
Did you ever see an animal skin, Hjalmar?
While these were great flicks, with top-notch performances and suspenseful plots of rivalry and revenge, they had little to do with the stories of Poe.
Ho! You're avenged!
Besides, adapting a short story or poem into a feature film isn't easy. So the Roger Corman films did a good job retaining Poe's original ideas.
Suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping.
But also had the flexibility to invent. They more or less paid tribute to Poe rather than being literal screen translations. They might have been a little weak on plot, but they made up for it and excelled in creating atmosphere, a sense of humor, and bringing together a brilliant cast. Vincent Price was the recurring star to lead the whole franchise. Then we would have two classic horror stars nearing the end of their career, Boris Karloff.
Afraid, my dear? There's nothing to be afraid of.
And Peter Lorre.
Shut your mouth!
Then, before he was a big star, there was Jack Nicholson. This wasn't the first time Nicholson made an appearance in a Roger Corman film. Earlier, he played a part in Little Shop of Horrors.
Most people don't like to go to the dentist, but I rather enjoy it myself, don't you?
This ensemble of big names brought together in the Roger Corman Poe series definitely makes it one of the important eras in our history of thriller films.
Quoth the raven, nevermore.